What are we doing here?
Well,
I mean, I know what you're doing, but I'd like to know the benefit.
oh, no. The reason I'm doing all this now, when I work with the hand, one of the things that, like I was talking about, I'm trying to articulate how I can feel balance, gravity, acceleration, and such in the human system. So somehow, when I do this with you already, the muscle was just twitching a little bit, but
I felt it go like that.
Right. Well, this is where I look at balance. See, now already, because I'm up this high, you're starting to get, quote, a little stiffer, and I know that's not supposed to be a word that we use in our Feldy stuff, but what happens is balance, people look at balance as an inner ear thing. However, if I bring a hand, or let's say this is just a basic examination, you should have balance anywhere in your system. And this is the one that's really obvious, because if I'm just walking, my arm should be hanging here. So that's fine. So you're not so bad going left to right. I would like to see a bit more in the shoulder happen, but I can feel, as I have my hands down here, just the muscles starting to kick in just a little bit, especially now if I start moving the hand around. So if I move the hand around, you can feel how your biceps just
I was
gone
fighting
like,
it.
yeah. Well, it's not that you're fighting it. This is where I look at it as acceleration. So if I'm just taking your hand and let's say I drop it, just like this. Now see, you're actually holding it because your hand's not going woof. You know, so if I let go, see how you're actually holding your hand a little bit, so your hand is not falling. So it's getting a little bit better. There we go. See how now, if I let go, your hand's falling.
The muscles have given up trying to do anything.
It's not that they've given up, it's just that I feel that just these little experiences of going like this, I can see if someone has a problem with acceleration. So let's just say, and again, I'll be more drastic, this is acceleration through the system. Or if I were to throw my hand, you know, that's an acceleration. Now tighten your left hand. So see, already,
I've already.
now you have issues with your acceleration. So this is what I'm looking at with the hand. Now, obviously, I was going to too much because I'm just showing you. And then also what I found is I should be able to not only lift an arm quite nicely, and you have a nice long arm, but not only lift, but I should be able to just sort of swing like a pendulum.
The elbow should be rocking.
Right now, I should sort of get this. And I'm not, and that's okay. So now this is the beginning. See how it's just sort of going back and forth, but there's no
movement down there.
The torque is not there and here. So here you really feel your muscles kicking in. So if I were to do something like that, I'm already starting to strain through your lower or upper back right in here. So those are my objectives, is to show how through a lesson now I can change all that.
Cool. That's amazing. I tightened up over here and that auto tightened over there.
Well, what it is when you suddenly use muscles that aren't meant to be used in the situation, the brain has to think first, okay, tighten that hand, but that's not supposed to be tight. And now go from that hand going, oh, what was I doing over there on the right side? So you're not as fluid. So if you're, let's say, going for the Olympian, going for the pommel horse or something, or a big, cart backflip, if all of a sudden I see, or especially like on a football player, quarterback, you should be able to throw a spiral with the other hand. Usually it looks like a washcloth, just hanging there. If I see that hand clench, the left hand, let's say if he's a right-handed thrower, not only is he going to not make the throw because his brain is already saying, I'm either injured or I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing at that moment, but he's just going to start ripping out his shoulder. And that's where the, quote, older ball players start ripping the shoulder out. It's actually because they're contracting the other hand. And they don't realize they're doing it. Because when the hand was limp, to them, that was just natural. See, here I'm analyzing movement, but when someone does a movement well, They don't analyze it. They don't know why they're well. They're just gifted or whatever. You know what I mean? They're just really good. However, as they get injured or have had trauma in their life, now the brain gets sort of, let's say, confused, for lack of a better words, or has too much effort into other movements because you're injured, and you lose the natural ability that you once had. And that's where the lessons come in nice, because all of a sudden someone else can say, oh, did you realize you were tightening that hand, where they might not be able to even notice it. And let's say you're not an elite athlete, you could be on a cell phone too much. You know what I mean? And you're not letting go of that hand, even though the phone's down. Or people even hold their phones all the time, but they hold it this way versus just having it next to them.
A lot of this kicks in automatically, doesn't it?
Well, now I'm teaching you how to drop the hand. See how that's already getting much easier now to drop.
Yeah.
And so, see, you're holding it right there. See it?
I'm holding this part up.
Right.
This part went limp, but I held this up.
Right. See if I there you go. And just from that, see already the difference down the shoulder?
Yep.
So now you can feel right when I turn the wrist now here, how it's going through your upper shoulder. And feel how much nicer now the hand wants to drop.
It's just amazing.
So just from that dropping, and this to me is just the law of minimum physics. As I'm sitting there, your arm should just be lying there as a pendulum. If I go this, you should naturally want to find gravity versus fight it. There we go.
Well, it's not doing anything. Why should it be working?
Yeah, but your brain's not saying that. Most people
know.
don't even know how to lie. So there we go. That's much nicer. See, again, this is something where I can sort of talk you through it, and then your body responds like, oh, that's what you want to be. And again, just that alone. And also feel how, as I'm going back and forth now, see how the transfer of weight
It don't feel like it weighs anything.
yeah. Now here it will. See how when I'm getting to this, now you can feel we're right above the clavicles. And again, see how you want to hold your arm a little bit more. Here, you're much more up here. See how you're holding? There we go. There, feel how now the arm rotates. Also feel how you can almost like clap my hand. See how you're just nicely falling into, there we go. That's much nicer.
I feel like I'm fighting it.
This is a really interesting move. And this just is something.
I'm not trying to.
No. This is just something I figured out. Again, part of it is acceleration. And if you look, you know those tubes of glass as they go from one section, they're like funky and they've got that lava. Well, that's exactly how I see the cellular makeup going on, or the fluids. I mean, we're 80% liquid, right?
Yep.
So I should have that kind of phenomenon going on, right? Now also, again, you're a big boy, meaning, you're 6'4". So there's a longer distance for that acceleration. So I'm looking for the point of your brain to be able to actually transfer that fluid nicely back and forth. And it's just something you haven't practiced with. But by me holding you in a very perpendicular way, you can figure it out. See, again, look at how much nicer now the shoulder is.
Really floppy.
There we go. Feel the difference now? There. Now you can lift it. Now, right there. Okay, so good. So I'll let you for a second. There we go.
Well, gravity's taken over.
No, it's not that it's taken over.
I mean,
Is you have a better
relax.
relationship to it. You're not afraid of the gravity, for lack of a better word.
Right.
It's like you know where the table is, and you're lying there.
I'm not
I'm
fighting
not
you.
hurting. At this point, the left arm and the right arm should be completely different animals.
They feel different. This one has no weight.
Yeah. Well, again, now see, look at the difference acceleration. See how I can just, you know.
My brain has learned to let you do it.
Well, no, your brain has just a better relationship with acceleration. However, I can feel it first in your system where there's stuff I need to work on, or like this, that I can just, you know. Look at your arm now.
Jello.
That's a pendulum.
I'm jello.
So now, there you go. And that's a punch. You're throwing a punch.
Yeah.
And now I can do the pendulum with your shoulder.
You are.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Unbelievable. Who would have thought?
Whee!
Unbelievable.
There we go. And also too, now the rotation in the wrist that I can get away with. See, what I'm doing now is as I go away to your extremities, down to the fingers, part of you is in a sense going, I'm slipping away. You know what I mean? I have a better grip on you here. So now I'm trying to teach your system that,
This is okay too.
yeah. And again, it's just a different relationship to gravity. I'm just going out to the outer fingers. And now you can see to it even more now how the hand wants to collapse. Now you're getting a much more nicer hand reflex.
The movement area is bigger too.
There we go. Now see how you're reaching out, extending out through the fingers. Most people are used to a grip or something to that effect in this kind of position. They're not.
Handshake.
There you
mode.
go. Going all the way out. One more time. And notice too, I can get so much quicker now with the arm, bringing it up and down.
There's no weight.
Where before I had to. So,
It don't weigh nothing.
again, I'm slipping away. There we go. See now, see how your fingers now just go right through me. So now lift up this arm. And now lift up the other arm. See how much too you do even do through your abdomen? Look at that. Do that again.
Yeah.
And see how much you're doing it through the ab? So now do the other arm.
Just
Yeah.
goes.